Members of the House, please be seated.
Will the House come to order? Mr. Clerk.
Aloha and good evening. Today's invocation will be delivered by Representative Jackson D. Sayama. Will the members who wish to participate please rise?
Please be seated. Okay, so last time I was up here, I talked about a Japanese phrase, kazuko no tame, kodomo no tame. So on that same note, I want to talk very briefly about okage-sama de, thanks to you. And in this week, actually, I want to thank particularly my office manager, Evelyn He, as well as my legislative aide, Raleigh Lakalaka. Throughout this entire session, they have been supporting me so much, really helping me learn a lot as well. And I'm sure you could relate with your staff as well. But I'd like to thank each and every one of you as well for really supporting me through this legislative session, and I look forward to working with each and every one of you going forward into the next. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative. Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. Aquino, Ms. Bellotti, Mr. Bronco, Mr. Cullen, Ms. DeCoit,
Excused.
Ms. Eli, Mr. Ganaden, Mr. Gates, Ms. Har,
Excused.
Mr. Hashem, Mr. Hashimoto, Mr. Holt, Ms. Ichiyama, Mr. Iligan, Mr. Johansson, Ms. Capella, Ms. Kitagawa, Mr. Bertrand Kobayashi, Mr. Dale Kobayashi, Mr. Kong, Mr. Lopresti, Ms. Lowen, Ms. Luke, Ms. Martin, Mr. Matayoshi, Ms. Matsumoto, Mr. McDermott, Mr. McKelvey, Ms. Morikawa, Ms. Nakamura,
Excused.
Mr. Nakashima, Mr. Nishimoto, Mr. Ono, Ms. Okimoto, Mr. Onishi, Ms. Peruso, Mr. Quinlan, Mr. Saiki, Mr. Sayama, Mr. Takayama, Mr. Takumi, Mr. Tam, Mr. Tarnas, Mr. Todd, Mr. Tokioka,
Excused.
Mr. Ward, Ms. Wildberger, Mr. Woodson, Mr. Yamane, Mr. Yamashita, Mr. Speaker.
Here.
Mr. Speaker, 47 members are present, 4 are excused.
Thank you very much. Reading of the Journal, Representative Morikawa.
Mr. Speaker, may this matter be deferred.
So ordered. Thank you. Mr. Clerk, are there any messages from the Governor?
Yes, Mr. Speaker, we are in receipt of Governor's message numbers 7 through 9 informing the House that notices of ratification were issued on April 22, 2021 for the noted collective bargaining units and transmitting proposed measures for appropriations to fund the cost items for Employer Union Trust Fund contributions. May these matters be received and filed.
So ordered. Mr. Clerk, are there any Senate communications?
Yes, Mr. Speaker, we are in receipt of communications informing the House that the Senate has made changes to conferees to the noted House bill.
Thank you very much. Members, we're on item number 5, unfinished business. Representative Bellotti.
Mr. Speaker, I move that the House concurrent resolutions listed on pages 2 through 6 be adopted.
Thank you very much. Representative Morikawa.
Mr. Speaker, second the
Okay,
motion.
thank you very much. Members, page 2, HCR number 5, discussion. HCR 11. HCR 35. HCR 37. HCR 44, discussion. Representative Capella.
No vote, please.
So ordered. Thank you, Representative. Representative Peruso.
No vote.
So ordered. Thank you, Representative. Further discussion? If not, thank you, members. We're going to move on to HCR number 69, discussion. HCR number 76, discussion. HCR number 81, discussion. HCR 96. HCR 97. Representative McDermott.
Support with comments in the journal.
So ordered. Thank you. Representative Lopresti.
Support.
In support, please proceed.
Thank you. I just want to congratulate my colleague from Eva Beach. Sorry for the feedback. He's worked on this for many years, and it's one of the most important things that could be happening for our community, and I want to congratulate him on this. This is one of those roads that is owned by federal, by city, by a golf course, and it's a place where people dump things all the time, and my colleague goes out there. You know, I'm going to turn.
Thank you, Representative. Further discussion, members? Again, we are on House Concurrent Resolution number 97. If not, thank you very much. HCR number 112, discussion. Representative McDermott.
No vote, comments in the journal.
So ordered. Thank you, Representative. Further discussion. Representative Okimoto.
No vote, please.
So ordered. Thank you very much. Further discussion. Representative Ward.
Speaker, I rise in opposition
Opposition, please proceed.
with a few points of discussion, if I may. First and foremost, I rise on behalf of the other two members of my family who are from Asia. As many of you know, my wife is from Malaysia, my daughter is from China. And secondly, I want to be very clear from the outset that racism is wrong. Racism is immoral, but it's not a public health crisis, Speaker. COVID-19 is a public health crisis. As I said on this floor last week, socioeconomic status is the most structurally solid variable of all of the social sciences for decades and decades. This means your education and your income predict more outcomes in life than any other variable, including race. To say that racism is a public health crisis in Hawaii makes a good point, but it is a mainland description, and if it exists there, not here, Mr. Speaker, as this reso would suggest. So saying that to say racism is a public health crisis in Hawaii is kind of sensationalizing it a bit. Did you know, Mr. Speaker, that most of the marriages in Hawaii are interracial, not within one's race, but mostly outside? So saying racism is a public health crisis in Hawaii denigrates what is otherwise we have been a role model for the nation, if not the nation, the world, about how we have 5 major groups getting along very well and doing it. And more importantly, and probably what I want to draw attention to you, Speaker, is that this body, this House of Representatives, declaring racism as a public health crisis cheapens the Aloha spirit, or at least makes us question its efficacy if it's real. Mr. Speaker, the point is, do we want to send the message out that, hey, all of you who love each other in Hawaii, we're really having a racist crisis here as a racist state? I mean, and of course we need to admit there are some people in Hawaii whose motivation or action is based upon race. In fact, that's the definition of what racism is. It's a person whose actions are based on the race of the other person. Racism addresses why a person takes an action or says a particular thing based on the race of the other person. Mr. Speaker, we need to stay on the path we are on now in Hawaii, stressing our similarities rather than stressing our differences, stressing our common humanity, and knowing and appreciating everyone's human value and everyone's personal worth. Personally, I love diversity. With my many years of living overseas and speaking foreign languages, frankly, I'm very bored in a monocultural setting. Diversity is what's interesting about Hawaii. It's a strength for us. It's not a weakness. Someone who said if God didn't like diversity, we would all be the same color and speak the same language. Well, we don't all speak the same language, and we're not all the same color, and that's why we're so strong. Mr. Speaker, let's stay on the path of looking at our similarities and those things that have long united us in the state of Hawaii. Again, and I repeat emphatically, Racism is always wrong, and racism is always immoral. Fortunately, Mr. Speaker, we still hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men and women are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Democracy, fortunately, is self-correcting, and this phase of racial inequality will be and must be overcome. Mr. Speaker, I'm not sure that this reso fits what we want to project as the state of Hawaii, but for those reasons, Mr. Speaker, I have really strong reservations, and that means probably a no vote. Thank you.
And thank you very much, Representative. Mr. Clerk, can you please strike out sensational, denigrate, and cheapens Aloha spirit in the floor speech? But thank you for the floor speech. Representative Kobayashi.
Mr. Speaker, rise in support.
In support, please proceed.
Racism is a multi-factor issue. It involves public health. It involves criminal justice, social justice, civil justice. It involves civil rights. It involves the failure of governmental and economic programs. So to say that racism is a public health crisis is true, but that's only part of what racism is. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative. Further discussion? Representative Wahlberger.
Strong support, Mr.
Strong
Speaker.
support. Please proceed.
Thank you. I just want to commend the Majority Leader for putting this forward because even though Hawaii is multicultural, it is also extremely hierarchical and ethnocentric. And so we need to address issues of injustice in our penal system, in our economic system, and in our health system. And this resolution helps us understand that we need to make many further improvements in these areas. In strong support. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Representative. Representative LaPresti.
Strong support.
Strong support. Please
Just
proceed.
Would like the words of the previous two speakers entered in the journals if they're my own.
So ordered. Thank you, Representative. Further discussion, Representative Ganaden, followed by Representative Tam.
Same request, Mr. Speaker.
In
Same
support?
request, yes.
So ordered. Thank you very much, Representative Tam.
Same request, Mr. Speaker.
So ordered. Thank you very much, Representative Peruso.
Same request, please.
So ordered. Thank you, Representative. Further discussion, members? If not, thank you very much, members. We're going to move on to the next House Concurrent Resolution number 132, discussion. HCR 137, discussion. Representative Capella.
No vote, please.
So ordered. Thank you, Representative Peruso.
No vote, please.
So ordered. Thank you, Representative. Further discussion? If not, we're going to move on. HCR number 154. HCR number 162. HCR number 163. HCR number 166. HCR number 189. And that's, I believe that's it. Members, if there's no further discussion on the resolutions before us, we'll be taking a voice vote to adopt. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed say no. The motion is carried. Members, on item number 6, final reading, members, the measures on pages 7 and 8 will be deferred one legislative day. Members, please turn to your digital action sheets. We'll be taking up 2 motions. One, to suspend the rules to reconsider previous action in disagreeing with the Senate amendments, and one to reconsider our previous action and give notice of the intent to agree. So for the first motion to suspend, Representative Belatti.
Mr. Speaker, I move to suspend the rules of the House to reconsider action previously taken in disagreeing to amendments made by the Senate to certain House bills.
Thank you very much, Representative Morikawa.
Mr. Speaker, I second the motion.
Thank you very much, members. This will be by voice vote. Again, motion to suspend. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed saying no. The motion is carried. Representative Belatti for the motion to reconsider.
Mr. Speaker, I move to reconsider action previously taken in disagreeing to the amendments made by the Senate and to give notice of the intent to agree to the amendments to the following 3 House bills as referenced on your digital action sheets. House Bill number 345, House Draft 2. House Bill 961, House Draft 1. And House Bill 975, House Draft 1.
Thank you very much. Representative Morikawa.
Mr. Speaker, I second the motion.
Thank you very much. Before we vote, members, again, this is just a motion to reconsider action previously taken and to give notice of the intent to agree. These three bills will be on the OD for Tuesday. That said, this will be by voice vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye. All those opposed saying no. The motion is carried. Members, are there any announcements? Representative Branco.
I'm saddened to announce that one of Hawaii's longtime public servants, Baba Wana, passed away at his home last night. As Governor Linda Lingo's as chief of staff, he was often seen walking these halls long before many of us imagined we would be here. And so at the appropriate time, I kindly ask for a moment of silence.
Thank you very much, Representative. We do know Baba Wana, so we will do that at the appropriate time. Thank you very much. Any other announcements, members? Yes, Representative Wahlberger.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Today is the Legislature's annual Hemp Aloha Friday. In honor of our esteemed former colleague, Representative Cynthia Thielen, I'm so proud to continue this tradition and carry this kuleana on in her behalf. My thanks to everyone who's wearing hemp or organic fiber garments today. This crop is phenomenally versatile and can lead the way to a more sustainable environment and circular economy. According to federal statistics, Hawaii now has 70 licensed hemp-growing farmers. We should be doing all we can to encourage this budding industry. Mahalo.
Thank you, Representative. Further announcements, members? Okay, if not, we've got two separate motions. First motion is keep the journal open. The last motion will be motion to recess. For the motion to keep the journal open, Representative Morikawa.
Mr. Speaker, I move to keep the journal open until midnight for the purpose of receiving conference committee reports and accompanying drafts.
Thank you very much. Representative Matsumoto.
Mr. Speaker, I second the motion.
Thank you very much. Been moved and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye. All those opposed saying no. The motion is carried. For the motion to recess, Representative Morikawa.
Mr. Speaker, I move that this House stand in recess until 9:00 a.m. Tuesday.
Thank you very much. Representative Matsumoto.
Mr. Speaker, I second the motion.
Thank you very much. It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye. All those opposed saying no. The motion is carried. The House stands in recess until 9 a.m. Tuesday. Recess. Members, if we can stand for a moment of silence. Silence. Thank you, members.